Hey guys, I've got a very special treat for you today. We're going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. My name is Bad Magadidi, and I'm the director and founder of The Game Changers. And today we're joined by one of our clients, Justin Bourne from Blank Canvas. Justin started working with us less than 12 months ago, and the past 12 months has been able to grow and scale his business exponentially while finding and hiring the right staff. When Justin approached us, he had two main goals. One was to generate more than $1 million in turnover, and two was to hire and find the right staff that would leverage his time out of the business to allow him to do more of the things he'd like to do in life. Justin's going to share with you how in the beginning he felt that he had certain issues or challenges within his business, later found the real cause of what was behind them. I'm super excited for this interview. Look forward to seeing you on the other side. Hello, so we've got Justin Bourne here from Blank Canvas. How are you today, mate?
I'm great. How are you?
Excellent. Really good, thank you. So, Justin, I want to go through and ask you a few questions today. Firstly, thanks for taking some time out to have a chat with us. Just to get an idea, I suppose, of where you're at in your business, a year ago and where you're at now, and basically some advice that you'd like to share with people, some of the challenges you've been through, because I think that your story could really help people fast track their road to success. So first of all, let's just start off with telling us a little bit about yourself and what specifically your business is and what it does.
Yeah, sure thing. So I started Blank Canvas just short 2 years ago by myself. We do architectural visualization renders, so we're a kind of creative company which holds its own challenges. And I guess one of the challenges I was facing was a while ago working too many hours. I wanted to work, not in the business, kind of more on the business, as most probably entrepreneurs want to do, but I was struggling to make that switch mentally for the most part. And so I was working late evenings, probably worked till 2, 3 in the morning for 2 or 3 months straight, almost smack on, probably just shy than a year ago before I, engaged these guys. Our sales weren't too bad. We had a couple spikes, but then we were struggling to handle those, what we thought were spikes at the time.
What were the spikes? What did that look like back then, a year ago?
So what that looked like a year ago is what we're doing on average now. So that's our average now, which we thought was crazy. And now it's the norm. And pretty much since the beginning of this year, so what we're August now, it's pretty crazy. Pretty much since the beginning of this year, I've worked the occasional rare, late night, past midnight. Yeah, I still work some big hours, but I enjoy what I do, so it's all good. But and yeah, we're averaging the same as what we considered was the spike last year.
What were the biggest challenge that you had in relation to finances and time 12 months ago? Because it has been about 12 months we've been working together, and I still very much remember the first call that we had. I was on my way to pick up my children from school, and I remember that there was two kind of core goals. Do you remember what those goals were? Do you want to share them with us?
So the two core goals a year ago when I first started, I guess, was to hit $1 million in revenue and essentially kind of make myself redundant a little bit in some way, which for the most part, both of them were achieved.
Yeah. In under 12 months. So you wanted to do over $1 million in turnover and make yourself redundant for the most part of your business.
Yeah, for the core production anyway, which is definitely achieved. For the core everyday tasks anyway. I've got someone on board who does all aspects of project execution now.
Wow. What were the biggest challenges back then?
Biggest challenges back then. A lot of it's, when I look back, I made the biggest shifts probably in the most recent few months. A few months ago. In the early days, it's a mental game for the most part. Can we what if I sign up all this much work? How are we going to deliver it? Or, you know, no, we can't handle that much work. So you turn down work and your attention goes elsewhere, or you feel like, and then even when you get a big surge, you are letting probably people down. It's a change of mentality of like, look, if you're doing 5 projects and everyone was satisfied, but if you're doing 15 projects and one person is unsatisfied, well, the ratio is still good. Like that's just the fact of it. So it's all, understanding that stuff's okay. And, so when you're operating on that higher level is just, it's all a mental game of like, well, you're good enough, or, can handle that kind of work. We're still going to deliver the service we want to deliver. And sometimes you just find a way. Other times you've just, which is just overcoming the mentality that you can actually do it. You know what I mean? Mm. So they were probably some of the biggest initial challenges.
Yeah.
And then you get operational challenges along the way.
Yeah.
Systems, structure, which I gained a lot of insight from you guys in particular. Again, they were just looking at systems and structure. And back then it was like, we were only 3 people back then. Actually, it was 2. No, 3. That was 3. Mm. What a system and structure, and now we have a system and structure, and it's, it's paying its weight in gold now.
How many employees have you got now? 12 months later?
So we were 3. We've essentially doubled. We're 6, 7. I'm looking really for another 2.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we use a handful of subcontractors.
Yeah, yeah.
When required.
There's this awesome delay that's going on with your video, so we're getting the sound come through in real time, but your face is all over the place. It's going to be pretty clippy for the people out there watching it, right?
I'm getting the same.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing you say is that essentially the biggest challenges were, although it was showing up in your business at the time with finances and time, like you said, you're working till 2, 3 a.m. in the morning most nights. The biggest challenges were actually the mindset or the inner game behind that. Were you aware at the time that was the challenge, was the mindset, or was that something that you became aware of sort of after you started working with it? It's like it kind of showed up first as money and time, but then you actually were aware that it was more the way that you were approaching it inner, or were you always aware that the mindset was what was creating the financial and the time challenges you were having?
The short answer would definitely be no. Like where I was 12 months ago, I wouldn't have thought they were the problems. I would have thought that there was other issues. And I thought I knew what I was doing. When it comes to the mind game, no matter how much you know and how much like you've been taught, like whether you're taking a business course or, you got told you got to do Facebook and this and that, none of that all matters at the end of the day. When you get like a massive surge of like all these sales through the door, and then you're like, what the fuck do I do? And then when it's your own business as well, I think the other thing that helped me was like, I was a control freak. I wouldn't let go of particular things because I felt like I had to do them because no one else could do them as good as me, which is bullshit. If anything, now I'm looking for people who are actually more better than me at what I do. In what I actually started the business on. I want to find people who are better than what I built the whole business on, like in terms of what we produce. So, things like that, understanding that you don't have to do everything, right? And no one can teach you. And sometimes people can tell you that, but you've got to experience it. But having an external, like what we did, helped through those stages.
Yeah, that's quite a significant.
Help me realize. Yes.
Yeah.
Realization. Help me realize.
That's quite a significant realization in itself, Justin, to go from being a control freak, and I remember calling you one quite a few times, to, as you said, hiring people that you're wanting to actually be better in specific areas than you. And there's this kind of transition that happens is that we start off as a technician being really, really good at something. And then, we go out in our business because we're really good at something. We're passionate about providing a better product or a service to the marketplace. Then we have to start to becoming the manager where we're managing other people. Okay. The hardest transition I find is from manager through to leader. Because in that point, you've built this great business, but the great business represents so much of you, so much of your love and your time and your energy and your finances, that in order to transition to the leader, you've got to actually let go of a lot of control to have other people in there. And shit breaks, things kind of fall apart. But it's in those moments that things fall apart and break a little bit. You're aware of what you need to work on, or maybe where you haven't been focused enough to then, make that transition. I see so many people that kind of step into that role or dip their toe into being a leader, and things break and they jump back into being a manager. And 10 years later, they're still in business as the one in control of everything. And their business never goes on to being as amazing as it could be because of that fear of what it might mean to actually let go and allow things to be messy for a little bit. And you're someone that, and I know it wasn't easy for you, but you've made that transition into becoming a leader, and even now starting to make that transition from a leader into an entrepreneur, where, being a leader is building other great leaders in the organization, but being an entrepreneur is starting to actually look at new ways and new areas that you can innovate in your industry to keep your business growing and thriving for the years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a big transition, and even, to be honest, even now, still struggle with, trying not to step in, and you've got to sometimes let things break, but obviously not at any detriment to clients or your service, whatever you're delivering. But don't step in too soon, particularly, with staff, employees. Like, don't let it break.
Yeah.
Let it fix it. And they become more, empowered in wanting to do a better job anyway.
Asking better questions.
And that's exactly right. And that's some of the biggest guidance that I've got out of, what we've done. And even just acknowledging it, self-awareness, like, you get so involved and tunnel vision in your business. And sometimes, like, half the time when we talk, like, I end up acknowledging shit I already know, but it's just because we talk, and self-awareness. Now, I didn't think I was a control freak. Didn't think I was. I thought I was easy, cruisy, casual guy. But no, I am. And so it's just that, even just that self-awareness component of it as well, which you can acknowledge that, and particularly if you're growing a team, it is so powerful because, people, I feel, get too consumed with themselves and not see the bigger picture. And when you're growing a team, you can't do that.
Can I ask you a side question? It's not in my notes here, but just because of a few things that you've said. How valuable do you believe, working with us has been for not just for your business, but for your life as well, right? You're in a relationship. You went from working most days to 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm sure things weren't necessarily always easy at home with you never being there. Like, how valuable has it been this last 12 months, the shifts and the transitions that you've made within your business, and more importantly, I believe, within yourself?
Oh, massive, like, huge. If we were to sit back and reflect, like, on personal, like, I don't even think we really comprehend and haven't really even acknowledged the impacts it's had on, like, my personal life. But it's been massive. Like, if I would have looked 12 months ago as well, to the point where, I'd look like a bum coming into office now, even just simple things like, you care about what you look like, and just more even like self-confidence and other things like that. And, now I roll into the office at 8:30 when I used to be the first one here every day, and I take my time to get in, and, like, just things like that. I feel great. Like, I might look tired, but I feel fucking awesome. Excuse the language. But, I go to the gym every day now. I've been meditating and all of this other stuff. And I can go away on a quick trip, just a drop of a hat, and the business still works fine. And before I'd worry fucking crazy about it or have to monitor everything miles away. And so just stuff like that, I don't even think we can really comprehend or even measure the impact it's had even on the personal life as well. It's
Awesome.
I think I said enough.
Awesome. What are 3 pieces of advice that you give to people listening to this that might be, in really tough financial times in their business, or that are maybe working way too many hours? What would be 3 bits of advice, based on your experience and what you've done, be for those people?
3 bits of advice. It's a really good one. the first thing I would probably say is like stop for a moment and just like try get an overview, just like summarize. Like, I mean, I do that on a project level. Like, I think it's just something I do. It's like first things like just stop and work out what the fuck is going on. Like, where are you spending your time? Where's the money going? You know, trying to get a bird's eye view would be the first thing. Like, stop and kind of reflect almost like as a starting point of like, this is where we're at. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The second would be, you know, so trying to surround yourself with people or who are in business. Like, if you're a business person, like find whether it's a breakfast group or a Facebook group or something, like find like-minded like people who are in similar scenarios, because you just never know from the most simplest conversation. It can be a 2-minute conversation of like, you just get a eureka moment.
Yeah.
You know, we met each other through a particular business course, and you know, they had the things in Sydney every few months. Sorry, and sometimes out of that, you know, the biggest thing that take away from a weekend was a small conversation I had with someone, you know, and it was just one word. Sometimes, like one word, to surround yourself with, like, you know, reach out to people. Like, you know, personally, I'm in a small breakfast group. One of the guys in there reached out to another business guy because he's sick of his job, and he just reached out to this guy to be a mentor. So, you know, like-minded and like mentor would be kind of the same one, I would say.
Yeah.
Actually, mentor is definitely the biggest one. While, you know, I guess this is mentorship in a way. I have another mentor who helped me on, I guess, the technical side, the technician side of what we do. And he's been there from the beginning, and I wouldn't be here without him in particular as well. So I've got a mentor on my technician side, which you don't acknowledge sometimes. Yeah, so that'd be the final one. Whether that'd be number 2. And then the third one, take a break. Just stop.
Yeah.
You know, and then maybe the first one as well, but sometimes just take a break. You know, I had one day once recently, and, you know, I don't know whether it was burnt out, and I can't even explain it. I just came into the office, couldn't think, and I went to the park for 2 hours, sat there, couldn't do anything. Then I said, fuck it, and went home, and I slept for like a whole day. I don't know what it was. It was weird, but it could have been burnout. But, you know, just stop and take a break. You know, smell the roses, they say sometimes. You know, but yeah, that would probably be my three pieces.
I think
long ones, but yeah,
yeah, and thank you for that. I think for us, you know, like the vision of the Game Changers is around helping frustrated business owners, you know, grow multiple 7-figure businesses and live a life of their dreams, you know, and out of that is helping them create lifestyle businesses, because I believe that at the end of the day, we're in business to create a better life for ourselves and for the selves of others. And I see far too often business owners that they go into there with that original vision, and then they get so stuck just working their business, trying to keep the doors open and trying to keep the bills paid and the staff happy and their clients happy, that they forget that business is supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be an expression of who they are. It's supposed to be, you know, part of their vehicle and their journey through creating a better life for themselves. And so I think that point 3 that you raised is particularly important, which is just stopping and smelling the roses. And, you know, it's often those moments that we step back, we get a new perspective on life, you know. Last question before we wrap up. What would be the single biggest piece of advice that you give to people right now watching this that are wanting to achieve greater results in their life? The single piece of advice.
Single piece of advice. You know, because I guess we're having this conversation, and or not because of that, should I say, you know, put that to begin with it. But, you know, I think at the end of the day, like, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. You know, like, all the information, everything is out there. You just need to find either people or material or anything that, you know, is in line with where you want to go. And sometimes you need a helping hand. That's why I came to you guys. that's why I do other things now in particular areas of my life. Like, I just acknowledge that you can't do it all, and you don't have the time to do it all. Find people that can either help you, you can piggyback, or you can not piggyback, you can bounce off, or follow people, or like now with social media, there's so much content out there as well, and so many people offering great value out there. That would probably be my biggest thing for anyone who's like, like kind of find help in some regards, or, like, yeah, I think people know what I'm trying to say.
Well, it's almost like, I would summarize by saying it's almost investing in yourself. There's a saying that, smart people spend money to save time. Poor people spend time to save money. And like you said, like everything's available out there. Success leaves clues. If you're wanting to create change in your life, whether it be in your finances, in your relationships, in the time you're working, anything at all, find other people out there that have had that success or are known for that success in your community, and seek help, seek advice from them. And I think also, as you mentioned at the beginning, is that, we can't experience anything outside of it that we're not experiencing inside of us. So if we're wanting greater results outside of us, we need to kind of look within inside first. And through working on that inner part of us, we can create the better results within our finances, within our relationships, within life itself. And often, I think many people are blind to that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good. Yeah, it is a summarize of improving yourself. I mean, there's the typical analogy, like on the airplane, there's a reason they ask you to put your mask on first. You need to sort your shit out first before you can help others anyway. And if you're running a business, you've got to get your shit together. And if you're going to be a leader and you want to grow a decent business, you got to get your shit together. And you got to improve yourself and keep improving and don't stopping. And I think anyone who is an entrepreneur at heart and anyone who started a business is like that anyway. And that's who you are, or who we are, as we could say.
Perfectly said. Look, to end that, your business is never out going to grow you. The business will never outgrow its founder. If your business is not growing the way you wish it to right now, you need to kind of look a bit closer to home and ask yourself, why aren't you growing the way that you need to, or who do you need to become in order to have the success you like in business? Look, Justin, from the team of the Game Changers, I want to say a massive thank you. We absolutely love you. We love working with you. We love seeing where you've come from to where you're at right now, and we're really excited to see where you're going to be at in another 12 months, 2 years from now. We appreciate all that you do, all that you are, and thanks very much for taking some time today. We trust that this is going to help some people out there to get a bit of an insight as to what their journey may be over that next kind of 12 months for them, and also some of the advice that you've given it will help them to fast track their success and not experience as many challenges and hurdles. So thank you so much.
Yeah, the feeling is mutual, and these guys rock, and appreciate everything you've done, and I look forward to where we go, and I do hope someone else can get something out of this. And that's just to finish off, your desires and stuff change, and that's probably the other biggest thing over the last 12 months. As you sort out other areas, as you said, your attention can go to other places, and if anyone can get any value, even one word, like I said, out of the conversation, then that's phenomenal for me, and that's the more of the kick I'm getting out of growing the business now as well.
Yeah.
So thank you as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll let you get back to work, and we'll speak on the next call.
No worries,
mate.
Will do. Cheers, Barry. See you, mate. Bye. Catch ya.
Wow. How awesome was that, guys, to see Justin's transformation over the last 12 months? To go from working till 2, 3 a.m. in the morning most nights to, knocking off at a suitable hour at 4, 5, 6 o'clock to see his partner. Not only that, for him to last month to have, grown his business to such a point where the income of last month alone was more than his entire financial year the year prior. That's a phenomenal feat, and hats off to Justin for the hard work and the dedication he's put in. See, far too often the Game Changers, we see business owners that go into business because they're wanting to create a better life for themselves. They're wanting to create more freedom of time, more freedom of money, and they're wanting to create something in the world that makes a difference. Yet more often than not, they get stuck working their business ridiculous hours, sometimes paying their staff more than they're actually taking home themselves. And we want to help you. If you're somebody in business who is in a position where you're looking to grow, you're looking to work with a mentor or a consultant or a coach to help you get from where you are right now to where you'd like to be, we'd love to have a chat to you. We've been doing this for quite a while now. We've helped our clients to achieve significant results in a very short period of time. We know what to look out for in the journey of success within business. We know how to help you leverage your time back so you can have more time to do the things that you love. We know how to help you generate more cash flow. We know how to help you generate more profits. So if you're someone that's wanting to do it an easier way than maybe you have been, by all means, click on the link below and book in a call with me. My time these days are very limited, but I do have 3 spots available for a 15 to 30 minute phone conversation. So if you're someone that's an action taker, if you're in business, if you've already created some success within your business, but you're really looking to take it to the next level, I'd love to chat to you. Click on the link below and look forward to speaking with you. If not, I trust that you've received some phenomenal value out of Justin's story and look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye-bye.